What if I told you the world's tightest vault opened like a whisper, and no alarm cried out? Midnight in Antwerp, a steel door eases, a shadow slips below. By dawn, hundreds of boxes lie torn open, fortunes erased, and the city still fast asleep. Antwerp was a river of light. 8 of 10 rough diamonds on earth passed through these streets. Banks blinked, guards paced, cameras watched everything, or so they swore. Beneath, a vault sat like a buried citadel, wrapped in steel, codes, and corporate certainty. He arrived as a gentleman dealer. Neat suit, measured smile, a rented office, and a tiny safe box. Name, Leonardo Notarbartolo. He joked in smoke curls, bought small stones, paid on time. Harmless, routine. That mask would open doors steel could not. They called themselves a school, quiet masters who practiced patience. One mapped habits, one solved mechanisms, one lifted obstacles like they were paper. A fourth moved in shadows. Together, they studied the vault not as a door, but as a living maze. The vault guarded its heart with layers. Cameras, motion and heat watchers, a timed door, a complex lock, and a magnetic sentinel that measured even presence itself. It was a cathedral to the idea that nothing could pass uninvited. Leonardo learned the building's pulse, the guard who loved thermos coffee, the trader who always forgot his scarf. When lights dimmed, when cleaning carts rattled, the map was made of people and predictability, not just doors and steel.
They rented space, paid deposits, moved small parcels, waved to neighbors. Every smile was cover, every errand rehearsal. In a warehouse far away, they built a twin, a copy of the vault's defenses, assembled from memory, rumor, and nerve. Time became their weapon. Weeks slipped into months. They tested silence. How softly could a hinge sigh? How gently could a lens go blind? How long could a system trust the picture it preferred to see? The answers were written in patience. They chose a weekend of carnival stillness. The building would be asleep, banks shut, diamonds resting in private boxes like dreams locked in drawers. The district's heartbeat softened. Revelers masked the night with noise far from the vault. On the chosen night, a key met cold metal. Not a brute approach, not a war, an invitation accepted. The door yielded with the unremarkable confidence of routine. The meters kept their counsel. The building dreamed on. They moved like a breath through lungs, elevator down, corridor across, the vault face looming. A lens watched until it didn't. A sensor waited until its assumptions were soothed. Layers built to terrify were lulled to sleep by craft. In front of the vault door, the world narrowed to geometry and rhythm. Cold steel, a code wheel that loved the right tempo, a guardian circuit persuaded to hear what it wanted to hear. Then, the soft unfurling of bolts. Metal sighed like winter reeds.
Inside was a bank of private dreams, rows of metal boxes stacked like safety in rectangles, each sealed against time. They carried canvas sacks and quiet resolve. No smashing, no chaos, just steady hands unweaving other people's plans. Tools hummed and whispered. A screw resisted, then relented. Fibers never fell where cameras could see. Each opened box was a little sunrise, diamonds flickering like trapped constellations, envelopes of certificates, private notes now nameless. Above them, the district snored on. Below, hours melted. They worked by an invisible clock, before guards changed, before arteries of traffic woke. The art was not entry alone. It was leaving nothing that spoke, nothing that bled time. They weren't greedy, only exact. They favored stones with stories, a cut that traveled empires, a rare hue that made insurers sweat. Artifacts slipped into sacks. The room kept breathing. The heist was a conversation with silence, and silence agreed. Near dawn, a final pass. Casing tidied, signs disguised, pathways remade to look untouched. A last look at the quiet grid of doors. Then the reversal, out the way they came, shepherding the dark, wearing routine like armor. They surfaced wet with night. A sedan idled 2 blocks away. Canvas sacks became innocent luggage, nothing louder than rain. The city stirred. Bakers yawned. The river.
Morning broke, and then everything shattered. Guards opened the vault to a forest of open mouths. Phone lines caught fire. By noon, headlines screamed about a century's heist, a number so large it felt like fiction made flesh. Police retraced ghosts. Cameras saw nothing useful. Alarms slept right through. Locks behaved as if nobles had visited, not thieves. The scene read like a letter written in disappearing ink. You could tell it existed, but not what it said. Somewhere south, a country road bent through pines. In a small forest, refuse met daylight. Shredded envelopes, velvety fragments, a torn glove. A fox nosed it. A passerby paused. Curiosity can be louder than sirens. The forest spoke. Paper trails led to rental agreements, to fuel receipts, to a face the district thought it knew. Not a smoking gun, more a chorus of ash and coincidence that, together, spelled out Leonardo Notarbartolo. Arrests came in ripples. Leonardo was taken, calm and almost amused, as if appraising a stone's fire. He would say little, then just enough. A tale of a team, a plan shaped by patience, and a fortune that had already changed hands. How did they do it? The answers blurred on purpose. They learned routines, calmed watchers, persuaded mechanisms to accept a quiet story. No single miracle, just a tapestry of small deceits, woven tight enough to carry weight. Courtrooms demanded names. The city demanded certainty. But jewels move through shadow economies faster than verdicts harden. Boxes lay empty. The river kept flowing. Insurance firms did their math and gritted their teeth. The vault's legend cracked. Engineers redesigned layers. Managers rewrote rituals. Guards learned to mistrust routine. Security was no longer an object you bought. It was a story you updated every day against your own complacency. And the diamonds? Many faded into legend, reset, recut, renamed. A rare fancy stone might wink from a distant ring, carrying a whisper of Antwerp night, of patience and rain, of bolts sliding back like a held breath set free. So what broke the unbreakable? Not force, faith. Faith that habits never change, that systems watch everything, that legends protect themselves. The school taught another lesson. The strongest vault is only as human as the story guarding it.